So welcome back to the channel, and it's been a beautiful day today, although I have been working. Now when I finished work, I popped in to do my food shopping, and in Sainsbury's I came across this passion flower climber for £8. Now this is something that I haven't got in the garden, and I've got just the right place to put it. So it does say that it will grow quite large. It's going to grow to about 5 meters long, and it will grow in part sun or full sun. So for £8, I just couldn't leave it there. So let's get this planted in its forever home. So I've been busy making space for this climber down near the arbor. So I had to just rejig a few plants around the base of the arbor. And this is something, like I said, that I haven't got in the garden. And it has got some beautiful leaves on this. So it's quite a decent size. And it did say on the label that it will flower July to August. So I've already made a hole just down there. And then we're going to get this just tied in to the arbor, where hopefully it'll grow and just fill up this space here as I walk down the garden. So let's get that hole nice and deep. And let's get this out of here. There we are. Oh, it's got some nice roots on it. And let's see now if I can pop that in to the space. Oh, that's just the right height. Marvellous. Just fill in the soil around. And then what I need to do then is just to attach it to the trellis. So to do that, I'm just going to use a little bit of gardening string. And this just needs to be attached. Now I can't move it too far over because there is quite a lot of concrete where the posts have been put into the ground. So that's about as far as I can go for the time being. So let's get some scissors and just start attaching that. So it'll be nice to have something in the garden that I haven't got already. So let's just snip off some of these green ties. Right, so we've got 2 stems there, and let's just tie them onto the trellis. Now I'll start them off with a little bit of string, and then they should start wrapping themselves around then as the plant grows. And just start tying these in. Give them a little bit of support. And I do like a climber in the garden, so I've got quite a few now. With the clematis and the jasmine, and I noticed today that the jasmine are starting now to come into flower, so that's great news. It's nice to come out into the garden today because this week we've had nothing but rain. It's been really bad weather, and I certainly wasn't expecting it to be as nice as this today. Lovely temperatures. Nice to see a little bit of sunshine. So there's a little bit of a start on the first one. I'll just continue now to do exactly the same with the second stem. It's got quite lovely leaves on it. Looks a little bit like an umbrella plant. So we'll give this a tie-in. And it's lovely to get something in the garden that I haven't got. So let me know if you've got one of these in your garden, and how large does it grow? That's the question. I hope it doesn't grow as large as my Amandia, otherwise I'll never get down to the greenhouse. So we'll pop one there as well, just to keep it secure. And one on the other side. So everybody's out now mowing their lawns, making the most of the nice weather. So it should get quite a lot of morning sun here, and then by the afternoon the sun just goes around the back there. I'm going to just tie that one there, and then give this a nice little drink of water to settle in the roots. So I always tie in a knot, and then I push the knot to the back. And there we are. So let's give that a water. Lovely. So as I walk now down to the greenhouse, hopefully this passion flower will grow beautifully now up the arbour and give us some lovely purple flowers. So where I've planted now this lovely climber, the passion flower, just at the bottom I had grass there already, and I've just added in 2 little heucheras just to add the space, because they won't mind that if they're on top of a little bit of concrete underneath, because they don't mind the area being quite dry. But there is quite a lot of soil there where I've planted the new plant, so that's very deep, so there's no concrete under that. Now on the other side of the arbour, a few weeks ago I planted a jasmine, and they are already now coming out some beautiful flowers there. So I wanted something evergreen really to put up around the arbour, rather than something deciduous, which means that it loses its leaves through the winter. So as you know, on the left hand side of the arbour I've got the red robin, and on this side I did have a Photinia Carré Rouge. So you'll notice now that that's been moved, that's gone down the other end of the garden, and I think it would have been a little bit too much to have both one each side. So what I've done, I love this rose so much, and this is the Golden Delicious. It's a bush rose. So there's just the one on it now at the moment, but it's such a wonderful colour. So behind there, tucked in amongst that large plant, I did have a salvia. So the salvia has been moved out to a more sunnier position. And in there now, I've planted a Mahonia soft caress. So that will enjoy the shadier position. You can see that where it was planted in full sun, it has started to just scorch the leaves slightly. So what I've done with this large plant is just trim away a few of the bottom branches, so that now has got a little bit of a canopy over it just to give it a little bit of protection. So you can see here now that the salvia has been brought out to a much sunnier position. So that now is on the corner. So that'll have full sun now for most of the day. So hopefully that will do a lot better. And I think this one is the amethyst lips. It's a very dark purple flower. So the other roses have all been left in place. And the dark red rose now is starting to come out. We've only got the one flower on it so far, and that is near the avatifolia. The Siberia stem, that's behind there. And there's another little salvia just being placed there, also in full sun, right in the centre of the garden. And I think that one is the cherry lips. Or they could be the other way around. Maybe that one is the amethyst lips. I'm not really sure until they come out in the full flower. And behind that, you will see that the Bonariensis, the verbena, is starting to size up a bit. I've got two of these in the garden, and this one now is about 3 foot tall. But the other one that I've got, that's still ground level. But fingers crossed it'll catch up soon. And the loquat tree, that's also doing well in the garden. Lovely leaves on that. And the tetrapanax there, well, that just speaks for itself. Look at the size on that now, absolutely huge. And that now is in its 3rd year. So coming down now to the very bottom of the garden and looking upwards towards the house, you will notice that this now is where the Photinia, I think this is a Photinia Carré Rouge, although it could be a red robin. It's slightly smaller leaves than the other one, so I presume it's the Carré Rouge. But there's plenty of room for that there now, and that is just sitting behind the John Phillips Euphorbia, and we've got a lovely Mahonia there as well, and that really is thriving in fantastic condition, that one. Not really many people's favourites, as I do know that these do grow quite large, and some people do see these as council planting for car parks. But I actually quite like the leaf. Sharp, but beautiful. And little Vim is always near. And you, Vim? It's a good boy. You okay? You're always around when I'm planting. There's a good boy you are. Now looking inside the greenhouse, the little euphorbia cuttings that I took the other day, I've had to move just underneath there out of the strong sunlight as they are starting to wilt. It's very hot in here at the moment. It's 6 o'clock at night and it's actually 49 degrees in here. 49. That's really hot. But I'm not complaining. But I will have to water my tomatoes tonight, I think. They're looking very dry. So the tree fern, this is the 3 foot tree fern. I don't usually trim the old fronds away, but it only had 3 on it, as this one didn't do too well last year when we bought it. But just look at that new growth there. So I think I'll feed that tonight with a little bit of liquid seaweed, just to give it a few more nutrients. It's had plenty of rain lately anyway, but I think it's definitely due a feed. So just a quick little video today just to show you my new plant and what I've been doing with this centre bed here. So until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.